But, oh, okay. Oh boy. Well, I believed that. Hello and welcome to Night Chat. I found a oldie but goodie from the archives. This is, I'll show you a clip in a little while. Let's hold off for now. So just do a quick summary on the last couple of shows that I seem to put my foot in my mouth. Because I want to be really clear about what I say. So maybe I should speak louder. I'm saying to you that the aliens are now in charge of the hospitals and the major police departments. Now they're in charge of the government at the top too, but I'm trying to explain things that relate more to you and me. That they're on our level as well. Now, let me tell you a quick story and then I'm going to add to it, which videos you can find on YouTube, which I just found out about 4 days ago, that will confirm what I'm saying. About a year ago, this time, I uploaded a video of my ex-girlfriend. I saw some anomaly on her face, so I thought, man, she's a reptilian hybrid. Of course I wasn't sure. I dated her back in the 90s. I met with her in 2011 as a friend. We hung out for about an hour. And when I played the video back, 3 months later, I saw some anomaly on her face. So I uploaded it to YouTube. And from that moment on, I had the doctor try to murder me at Mercy Hospital in Hillcrest. I had the police try to murder me. Well, there were more than a cover-up. There was someone on the side of my studio back in the shrubs at 1 o'clock in the morning. It was the 2 military guys that were staring at me. It's a long story. I have videos where I explain all this, but I had military men try to kill me, a doctor tried to kill me, the police were in on it, 911 calls hanging up on me to confirm it, a guy hacking into a 911 phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, around there, saying no one's going to help you, all this, like, my brother was a witness to the 911 call, I have other witnesses to other events. The point being that the Reptilian hybrid video I thought could possibly be something, wasn't for sure. They confirm it when they come to kill you. So I actually took the video down. It's out of the public eye because they were coming to kill me, but there was another reason why too. So I actually had to zip it on certain subjects because it got really dangerous. But I'll just tell you what I learned. I learned that reptilian hybrids are real. I was involved with one for sure. I think there's more than that. But one's confirmed. Now at the hospital, the doctor tried to kill me with an IV that was poisonous. My sister went there about 3 months ago to the same hospital. I warned her when she was already in there though, but I went there to visit her to warn her she should get out of the hospital. I told her boyfriend to not leave her alone in the hospital. He left her alone that night. The next morning she vanished. Then she reappeared inside of jail. When she finally got out, I knew the story would be wild because that hospital tried to murder me. That's my accusation. Oh, I'm accusing. Oh yeah. Now, my sister told me later on, after she got out of the hospital, out of jail, that she was in there. They took her down in the basement, and the doctors kept coming in with different costumes on, like a wig, glasses, just like playing mind games. Then all the doctors, their skin started sticking to the curtains. They were like in the curtains. I mean, it's just creepy. But that reminded me of a clip from Fire in the Sky, where they put a blanket on the guy and it sticks to his skin. And I know my sister never saw that movie, so she wasn't trying to copy anything that she had seen, except something she experienced in real life. Okay, forget us. Okay, pretend like we're cuckoo, we're nuts, I'm making this up. Okay, scratch it. Because this isn't really about me. It's about all of us being in danger. I could deal maybe with the police being involved, because you have to walk very carefully because they are the police. But hospitals being involved makes it very, very, it makes me shake. I get scared. It makes me very, very scared, very afraid of you going there, me going there, our elderly, our children, families in general, people in general. If hybrids that are part alien are running the hospitals, you understand? Now let me explain to you some more. I found a video 4 days ago, where it's about gang stalking and implants, and the guy was saying that many people, and he interviewed him. I'm gonna try to find the video, put a link below. If not, I will in the near week, in this coming week. He interviewed people that had implants in them, implants that are alien in nature, like people that used to be abducted 20 years ago that were on the Sightings TV show. Remember they had those weird implants in them that were alien? Well, in the show I found 4 days ago, he was saying that the doctors and the dentists were putting implants in the people now. That would put a link to the doctors and the dentist and the UFO abductions and cover-ups. You see why they didn't tell us about the aliens, the UFOs, our government? Because they're not in cahoots with them. They don't have a contract with them. There's not a pact. It's because they are the hybrids. Our government at the very top, I believe from my research, is connected to the UFOs, and there's no pact. They're not separate. It's a long story, but they were hijacked back in the 40s. They were cloned, then murdered, and the clones were put out in public eye to make us think our government was still being guided by our leaders. I know it sounds crazy, I know. But everything confirms it. You can't have a police department being ran by hybrids. I mean, the conspiracy to murder me last year, there were so many people involved, so many attempts. I counted 3 I can prove, I believe. But there's about 6 to 9 other attempts. From poison. Okay, well anyways, and I survived. And I believe it's because I'm a Christian. But anyways, anywho. I'm just trying to warn you that when you go to a hospital, be very careful. Try to have family and friends with you, especially if you're a truther. Because they're coming for the truthers first, because we're the first wave of the consciousness that woke up. I bet I have implants in me too. I bet. I'm sure I do. And I'm sure you do. I bet a lot of us do. I bet half of us do. Maybe most of us do. But they're not regular people that are putting these high-tech implants in us. This is a worldwide epidemic. And people do not organize like that in secret. I'm sorry, I don't care what you say. You're never going to convince me that 1 million people can organize like that. Somebody would always talk and leak. The only people that talk and let the stuff leak are the victims themselves. Now you have CIA whistleblowers when it comes to things you can prove, not the supernatural, not the sci-fi aspect of it. You know, more like murders and plans that they have against us, those kind of whistleblowers. But this is more like caught in the act of the actual act itself. Implants. I mean, doctors and dentists putting implants in people to trace them, to listen to them when they speak, like microphones. I mean, who knows how far this stuff goes? It's tracking? It might be able to get harmonics through the satellites, a heart program to attack you. I mean, I don't know how far this goes. I'm not a scientist. I'm just telling you what is being reported from victims and what I went through last year when they tried to murder me with a poisonous IV. And my sister, about 2-3 months ago, when she was in the same hospital, Mercy Hospital, she told me the story that they drugged her. They broke her mind. She was so freaked out in the basement, all by herself all night. And they drugged her up really good. And when she left the hospital, she was running for her life. And she was she was naked. Wearing a hospital robe, but nothing underneath it. So she was trying to break into a car to get the car going so she could take off. She was freaking out. She barely got out of there alive, and she was afraid they were going to come kill her. I think they let her out. I think they set her out all drugged up to make her look crazy, so she can never. So whatever she said about that night would make her look like a nut. You understand? Would make her look like she had no credibility. No credibility. So, anyways, I'll leave it at that for now. I'm just warning you that the hospitals and the dentist office, from what I'm starting to understand, they're putting implants in us. I had a dentist, the last dentist I saw, this I wouldn't even call her a lady, I should call her, she's a woman, but I'm sure she's a hybrid. She purposely hurt my mouth when she was cleaning my teeth. It was right after the doctor tried to poison me, right after I uploaded the Reptilian hybrid video. It caused a series of problems, which led me to research, and I believe it was the Holy Spirit that told me bigger plans that they had. So they were coming for me for one thing, and it switched to another thing. And then I had to zip it, and I got my friends and my family involved, a safety net kind of thing, where if I got killed or hurt, the truth would come out, my mouth would get bigger. But this is the scariest shit I've ever been through in my life. I went through some pretty bad stuff, okay? I've been a victim of gang stalking all my life. Now that I look back at everything, it all makes sense. All the pieces of the puzzle finally come together. You need to get your heart right with Jesus Christ. We're entering some very dark times. It's the quiet before the storm. Our world is being invaded by space aliens. And it's what it is. It's the truth. But they're fallen angels. In the Bible, it's biblical. The biblical aspect of it is their fallen angels. The worldly aspect of it is their gray aliens from the planet. Don't believe that shit. They're interdimensional beings because they're fallen entities that are like a bees, like a hive, like an insect. They have one consciousness, like a Borg, yet they have a little bit of independency, I believe. They show you everything on TV. It's to make you look crazy when you come out with your story. But anyways, I found this from the archives, and I leave this with you on this wonderful day of Thanksgiving 2017. I guess I'm thankful to be alive so far, but I don't mind dying if it brought down a bunch of these evil fuckers. Sorry, I'm sorry. Now I'm trying to let them know that they can be redeemed if they turn around and go the other direction, because if they don't, they're going to be judged really soon by God himself, and it's going to hurt. If they continue on the course they're on, they're entering a very, 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 very painful time. Whatever they do to us will be matched sevenfold. Guarantee you. Thanks for watching. Get your heart right with God. All hybrids that hear this transmission, turn away. Stop doing what you're doing, and you will avoid punishment. You don't want to be punished. It's going to hurt really bad. God's taking into consideration that you're starting up the attack, which makes it where you lose the moral high ground. The world. You're losing the moral high ground because you're starting the attack, and it's going to give you, I want to say 10 times the judgment, but it's not. It's sevenfold. Thanks for watching, and I'll leave you with this old video I found in the archives, which is about 3 years ago, on space aliens. Ooh. God bless all of you out there.
Many cultures from thousands of years ago have stories of visitors from the stars coming to Earth and ruling over them with advanced technology. In the Bible, at the same time, it is written that the fallen angels came down to earth and crossbred their DNA with mankind until God sent a flood and washed these evil beings away. Yet in places like Egypt, Africa, Mexico, there are traces of advanced civilizations, pyramids that we can't even duplicate, things like mummies. We don't understand how they preserved the bodies. In old ancient stories as well as the Bible, these beings from the stars eventually advanced into child sacrifice. The villagers were prosperous as long as they were to sacrifice their children. The visitors from the stars had technology and left behind a few examples. The pyramids, built by stones weighing tons, which at this time is impossible for us to duplicate. Drawings of helicopters and airplanes. They found jewelry dating back thousands of years, and when they enlarged the jewelry of airplanes, these airplanes actually flew. Yet, in our own history, we have evidence of men trying to fly for thousands of years, yet failing until the Wright brothers came along. Both stories of visitors from the stars are found in the Bible and are seen throughout the pyramids. And if the Bible is correct, it says they would return in the end times. Now once again, old Egyptian symbolism is popping up. Millions of people kidnapped. In their testimonies, they were in a laboratory with gray aliens surrounding them. They were raped, impregnated, and their babies were taken from them. This has been going on for 70 to 80 years. Whistleblowers saying that aliens are running the governments, then the whistleblowers being murdered. Interesting enough, while people are being abducted by these gray aliens, popular studies say that when they cry out for Christ, the victims, the alien abduction immediately stops. Now, as pop star singers and movie stars throw up the symbol of the pyramid and the one eye, is it possible that one eye of Horus represents a camera lens watching us, giving us hints that they will return things back to the old ancient ways, where we, the people, are enslaved and child sacrifices resume.
Thanks for watching Starship.
Copyright-free footage from Reuters shows world leaders meeting at this week's Nuclear Security Summit at The Hague in the Netherlands, and see if you notice anything peculiar. World leaders wearing bizarre Illuminati eye-style pyramid badges, and here you can see the centre stage for the summit included these Egyptian-style hieroglyphs, an iris in the middle suspended above a holographic-style pyramid. As world leaders gathered. Here you see British Prime Minister David Cameron wearing the same pyramid badge pin as is his Italian counterpart. Strangely enough, Barack Obama did not wear the Illuminati-style pyramid, although many others did. including the South Korean representative and UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. And again, here you see the holographic pyramid suspended in the center of the stage at the Nuclear Security Summit. And in this still image, you see the Chinese president wearing the same logo. And you see it here again, Yukiya Amono wearing the same pyramid-style badge pin. Here's Ban Ki-moon with a Dutch representative, again wearing the symbol which was the motif for the entire Nuclear Security Summit. And here we see it again with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Now, of course, the explanation is that all these world leaders are merely wearing this pyramid-style symbol to express their support for nuclear security, just as somebody would wear a pink ribbon to support breast cancer awareness. But the fact that Barack Obama chose not to do so, even though every other world leader is wearing this pyramid-style symbol, he chose, or was told, to wear an American flag lapel instead, really speaks volumes as to the potential concerns that this could reflect, how it could be interpreted. Because if you notice the stage there at The Hague, surrounded by an eye, with the eyelashes being the world leaders, the central column here being the iris, and of course the all-seeing eye above the pyramid. Also, you'll note these symbols around the edge closely resemble Egyptian hieroglyphics. Now, most of us are familiar with why the all-seeing eye was placed on the dollar bill by Freemasons. Notice again the Egyptian hieroglyphics and then compare them to what was displayed at the Nuclear Security Summit. Here again we see the pyramid above the eye, and then around the edge of the stage these Egyptian-style hieroglyphics. And as Michael Snyder documents in his article today, citing author Rob Skiba, the eye at the top of the pyramid on the dollar bill is actually the eye of Horus. And again, it comes from Egyptian mythology and Osiris, the god of death. And it actually means he who has his eye on the throne. So was this a unifying motif, innocently chosen by the Nuclear Security Summit? Notice that Obama was not wearing the Illuminati pyramid. Or does it connect to something deeper from Egyptian mythology in relation to the nature, the projection of power? Let me know in the comments below. This is Paul Joseph Watson reporting for Infowars.com.